Assalamu alaikum everyone, Ajmal Khan from GrowthZone with another episode of Big Answers. We are continuing our discussion regarding human beings and human conscious. Today I'm going to elaborate what additional factors are included in human consciousness or human mind. Okay, we have been so far discussing regarding three core components of human beings, including human body, human spirit, the ruh, and the human nerves. Okay, but for a mind to be the perceptual center and to make up the perception based upon the data collected by human senses and processed in human brain, some further analysis and processing need to be done on that data to make it into an intellectual concept. So human mind produces human consciousness, and to produce a meaningful human consciousness and human conscious experience, along with body, spirit, and nerves, some additional components which have been granted into human beings, Homo sapiens, to make up and to conclude some information. Here are some additional or those additional factors and components of human consciousness which play their part in addition to body, spirit, and nerves. Next one is the intellect or the intelligence of the individual. Then the knowledge gained by that individual over his or her life period. After that, individuals' life experiences and those lessons learned from those experiences. Above that, along with that, another next factor which affects human consciousness or human conscious analytical processes are the personality type of that individual. Okay, now let's elaborate what are these. Intellect or intelligence. It can be measured by psychological tests correctly or incorrectly, or to some extent of correctness. Human intelligence varies from individual to individual. Not all human beings have been granted with equal level of intelligence. Some are more intelligent people, some are less intelligent. But individuals' conscious experience depends upon individuals' level of intellect and intelligence. That intelligence of the individual being can be polished, groomed, improved, increased, or well structured to make a sense of life and life experiences via a learning experience which turns that learned information into knowledge. Just like each individual have a different level of intellect and intelligence, each individual have a separate individualistic set of knowledge. Some individuals have some knowledge of their specific field, less knowledge in other life fields. Just like a doctor is very knowledgeable in medical sciences, whereas a doctor is less knowledgeable in engineering and related sciences. Whereas a space scientist, astrologer, or astrophysicist have the knowledge of their own specific fields but may have a lesser knowledge of other life fields. But each individual have different set of knowledge information. After that, along with that, each individual has its own life sequence of events, life experiences, and very individualistic conclusions of those life experiences, which we called personal principles to have a stable, good life. And each individual should and does have its own individualistic life experiences, which also, so it's very possible two individuals are observing a same event and come to a different conclusion. Can happen, it does happen, it creates difference of opinions, difference of ideas from the same core text, information, observation, and it does help scientists to create new theories, new ideologies, and based on which they develop their own thesis and theories, and then create or build the experimentation to prove or disprove or improve all those sorts of ideas. But anyway, so in addition to human body, spirit, and nerves, individualistic component of skills and talents and qualities nature has granted, God has granted to each individual, play a very important role in making a conscious understanding of our life and everything around us on this earth, which are intellect, knowledge, life experiences, and after that, personality type. Yes, personality type. Each individual have their own individualistic personality type. For example, some are introverts, some are extroverts, some are very brave and adventurous in their nature, some are very cautious and careful and not so brave in nature, some people like to spend regardless how much resources they have, some people like to hoard and keep their resources within their own individualistic controls. And all these different types of personalities help affect each individual to come to a different, very individualistic set of conclusion of consciousness, even from the same standard text, single experience, single observation. Because just like our fingerprints, just like our body structure, just like our thinking pattern, just like our individualistic intelligence, each individual has its own very specific, personalized, conscious approach. So these are the factors of individual consciousness or individual conscious experiences. But in science and in philosophy, when we talk about human consciousness, we call and discuss that phrase and that term under a collective human understanding and conscious experience or conscious conclusions. In those conclusions labeled under human consciousness, when a specific set of individuals and professionals present some ideology and it gets vastly accepted among masses, then it becomes the part of collective human consciousness. It is very common throughout the history that some ideology becomes accepted very vastly, but later on, when proven incorrect or needed improvement and got improved, that human collective consciousness adopted to the new conclusions of those knowledge available at that time, or a better knowledge available later on. I hope it might have explained your questions and doubts and queries regarding what is consciousness, what are its components, what is the difference between individual and collective human consciousness, and how does it affect our daily life. Keep thinking, keep smiling. If it raises more questions, put them in your comments, just like usual. Contact me, I'll try to cater them in my further videos. Ajmal Khan from GrowthZone. If you found the discussion interesting, please like, comment and share it. Also, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot.